We'll stick with ICE a bit longer now and turn our attention to breaking developments concerning a surprising move by that federal agency to significantly ramp up their immigration control efforts in the Twin Cities. According to reports, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement team will soon be stationing themselves throughout the entire Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. And that's where they plan to check the IDs of every person who crosses their path. Yeah, a bunch of extra work, but it might be necessary. The report says the information was leaked by an unnamed airport employee who claims that right now, ICE is currently preparing to occupy the facility for about a month in order to ramp up their ongoing campaign in the area by targeting passengers, employees as well, and more. For their part, the airport itself remains extremely tight-lipped about the deployment, saying they never receive advance notice of ICE activities. However, they go on to point out that federal immigration agents have the legal right to position themselves throughout the terminal in order to check people's credentials. So, you know. In the meantime, concerned authorities nationwide, they're now beginning to take substantial steps to educate the American people about their constitutional rights concerning any potential interactions with federal agents. They say that while green card holders are required to carry their proper paperwork with them at all times, it's not necessary for U.S. citizens to do so. However, they also warn that if you don't have your ID on you when you run into ICE, it's entirely possible that you'll be hauled away as part of a very inconvenient wrongful detention before everything eventually kind of gets straightened out. You know the routine. And final thought, this is the News Roundup Lowdown. If there's any question about just how pathetic things have become in lawless Minneapolis, this should kind of clear everything up. You know, so wretched now that ICE agents are going to have to move into the big airport, Minneapolis-St. Paul International. Locals call that one MSP, to make sure everyone is on the up and up. By the way, to avoid any confusion, this is all being done due to the actions of Governor Walz, Congresswoman Omar, and a bunch of others who want nothing more than to dismantle and destroy big chunks of Minnesota. It's all pretty clear. The state's been so poorly managed and mangled that the feds have to come to the rescue to ensure that everyone plays by the rules, and it's being done in the interest of public safety. And make no mistake, like diners at a fine restaurant who crave caviar, love lobster with drawn butter, and drool over duck à l'orange, Minnesota officials absolutely adore the feds moving in, and here's why. Now they get to pretend that they're the real victims who are being invaded and having their rights violated. Truth be told, the state is being destroyed from within by fraud, corruption, and illegal immigration, unchecked crime as well, and a bunch more. Governor Walz, he's on his way out, and before he leaves, he'll do all he can to tear down his state. But the feds will do all they can to stop him in his tracks.